Hello, I never thought I'd be sitting in front of a camera and telling this to a million strangers, but you know what? Lies are like a heavy blanket, warm and cozy underneath, but you are suffocated. I'm a cheater. Yes, I'm the same woman being condemned in the comments. I cheated on my husband of 11 years, and I'm not asking you for forgiveness now. I want you to understand. Cheating isn't always about sex in the back room at a company party. Sometimes it's beautiful, terribly beautiful. Like a knife that can cut bread or slit your wrists. This happened 3 years ago, but I remember every second. 1:30, 4:00, who we were before. Let's be honest, my husband, Dennis, is a wonderful man. He didn't beat me, he didn't drink, he didn't cheat. He was just tired. And then I got tired. By 35, our marriage had become a joint real estate project. We talked about renovations, loans, our daughter's school, but never about us. Sex once every 2 months on Saturdays with the lights off, because I'm tired, it's sunny. I had become a function. I was the mother, I was the cook, I was the one who reminds me to buy milk. I didn't feel like a woman. And the most offensive thing was that Dennis didn't even notice I was disappearing. He looked through me, as if I were looking into a clear pane of glass, and then, just when I'd resigned myself to simply being a conscientious employee in the family department, life threw me a curveball. 4:00, 6:30, getting to know each other. Not romance but chemistry. I was sent to St. Petersburg for an architecture conference. I'm not an architect myself, I'm a PR person, but I went just to get some sleep in a hotel alone. The first day, boring presentations, plastic badges, coffee from a vending machine. I sat in the back row, editing the estimate for paving the courtyard. Deadly boredom. And on the second day, he spoke. His name was Mark. He wasn't handsome. No, don't get me wrong. Not a Hollywood torso, not a jawline. He had a certain pedigree. He walked on stage as if he owned not only the audience but also the weather outside. He talked about how he designed bridges, and he spoke of concrete as if it were living matter. A bridge isn't a structure, he said. It's a place where two banks that have despaired of meeting meet. I was hooked. I, a grown woman, a mother, sat with my mouth open, because for the first time in years, someone was speaking the language of passion. Not about the spiritual, but about the present, the material. He talked about spans, loads, supports, but all I heard was, I see the world deeper than you are used to. During the break, I went up to him to thank him for his presentation. He looked at my badge, then into my eyes, and said, "Your mind is tired. You shouldn't be editing budgets, you should be watching rivers flow." I laughed nervously, but inside, everything sank. 6:30, 9:00, point of no return. We started talking. Usually, at conferences, people drink beer and discuss taxes, but we were walking along the embankment in St. Petersburg in November. He made me take off my gloves and touch the granite. "Feel the cold," he said. "That's fair. Everyone lies in the warmth." I didn't sleep with him the first night, or the second. We just talked. About everything. About how I once wanted to be a restorer, but gave it up. About how he dropped a beam at 20 and broke his finger, and has loved imperfection ever since. What's the catch? In those 11 years, Dennis never once asked, "What did you dream about before me?" But Mark asked after 3 hours of our conversation. And I burst into tears because I realized I wasn't just lonely, I was invisible. The betrayal didn't happen in bed. It happened the moment I told Mark the truth about my fear of aging. And he didn't console me. He said, "Your wrinkles are a map of your smiles. No one has the right to call a map ugly." That's when I unbuttoned my shirt myself. Not him. Me. Because I wanted to be seen. 9:00, 11:30, sex that isn't said. Yes, we slept together. It was in a room at the Astoria Hotel. It sounds pretentious, but it was actually weird. I'm 35, and I was shaking like a teenage girl. I was afraid I'd get cellulite, that I was clumsy, that I had a funny moan. But Mark, he laughed, not at me, with me. He was completely at ease in his nakedness, and he gave me time. Never in my life had a man spent 40 minutes just stroking my knees. Dennis was always in a hurry. but Mark slowed time down. When it happened, I turned my head off. For the first time in 5 years, there were no thoughts like I need to iron my shirt or my daughter hasn't learned her poem yet. There was only the heat of his body and the scent of his neck. But the worst part came in the morning. I woke up, looked at the ceiling, and I felt no guilt, not an ounce. That was truly terrifying. I realized the marriage was dead long before I unbuckled Mark's belt. 11:30, 1:30 p.m, return and lies. I flew home. Dennis met me at the airport, kissed me on the cheek, always the same one, the left one, and asked, "So, how are you? Did you miss me?" I said, "Yes, terribly." And that was a lie. I wasn't bored. I was breathing deeply for the first time in years. We were back on track. Dinner, school, budgeting. But I'd changed. I'd become too calm. I'd stopped nagging my husband about leaving a dirty cup. Dennis was even happy.